Hey guys, welcome back to Radakle Garage. This episode we're finally not working on the bed of the truck, we're actually moving on to the cab of the truck. And as you can see, I got some parts here. This part you may have already seen before, but I had to borrow it for the other F-150 I have. So this is just going to be a replacement part because I had to, borrow from my project truck already. This is a cab corner, and heads up, I've never done a cab corner in my life, so this is going to go great. Probably not. Excuse the mess here. It's been a crazy few days in the shop here. Apparently, I jacked this thing up in the last video so I could do the drive shaft and spin the tires. Well, somehow in that process, the axle's not crooked at all, or like uneven, but I'm leaking my gear oil out of that wheel seal, so that's gonna have to be replaced. And then you guys done or messed with gear oil before, you know how well the smell is right now in the shop. So we're gonna have to address that sooner than later. But for now, let's tackle this. If you can't tell what's going on here, we're missing a hanger. So I had to borrow that. This, I don't know if you guys, if I showed it to you before in the other video, it's not doing too well. It's, we'll just say one good bump from braking, and that'll make for a great time after we redo the bed of the truck. Oops, spider, get rid of that. So we're going to replace this before this causes any problems. I'm going to reevaluate the hanger over there, or not the hanger, but this shackle on that side, and see if it needs a new one as well and get that ordered. But for now, let's get our bag of bolts and this hanger, and let's get this guy put into place. I got all the bolts out, and looking at that side, it looks like I put the heads on this side. There we go. Oh, probably shouldn't do that too much. It's on Jack's hand apparently. So, but she's on. Hey, what's this? Yachts! Oh, I don't have battery. And they're all dead. Dang it! Okay. We'll come back to that later. But for now, let's get this piece out of here and replace it. Okay, I got my tools I need from the cart of mystery here. Let's take this piece, or this bolt off. I don't know if I mentioned this before in my other videos, but I so far exclusively gotten all my parts from LMC truck, and I do say so, I'm very impressed with their quality. No, I'm not sponsored, but boy do I wish I was, because I would speed this process up a lot. Wow, that's I put new bushings in this. Doesn't look like it, but I did. But thankfully, it came with a bushing from LMC. I did not pay attention how I took this off, so let me look the other side real quick. You know, having an impact with the charged battery would come real handy right about now. But while we're doing this, give you guys' opinion. See how all this is brass colored? Do I leave it like that, or should I paint it black? Let me know in the comments what you guys think, because I'd like to get to it before I put the bed on. Okay. just gotta get this into there. We get the truck up in position, and I don't know if you guys can see how I have this supported up, but if you can, well, my advice to you is, no, you don't see anything, so we're just gonna keep on going. I'm gonna pull over to the other side, see how I have the bolt ran. Okay, I've never ran that way, so. Get in there. Okay, we're there. What's that? Bada boom. Okay. We took that to the torque spec of good and tight. So now let's drop it down. Again, you do not see how I jack this up in any sort of way. Just gotta love jacks that it's all or nothing. Oh, okay. There we go. There we go. Like it never even happened. Okay, if you look in, how do they do it? Into there, we'll be fixing that next. So I know this corner may look like it's in mint condition, but she's got some flaws. I don't know if you can tell. I mean, there's some scratches up here. This is a little rough, a little surface rust coming in here. Like I said, some scratches. That's, you know, just too much for me. We're gonna have to replace this corner. I mean, there's nothing else wrong with it, so we can do this. Like I said, we're gonna have to replace it up here. Now the patch panel that they sent us, a little overkill for what we need. But man, look at that. Again, not a sponsored by LMC, but man, they have good products, you know. Hey, LMC, if you're listening, talk to me. We could work something out. But, so, what I'm thinking, we're just gonna take it across here, so that way if there's any other cab corner damage in the future, we have some room to work with another patch panel. Well, let's hope that never comes to that. So on the countless hours I've watched people replace body panels on the, you know, good old Tube University, or YouTube University as some prefer to call it, nope, maybe 10 minutes. The things that stuck with me the most, we're gonna cut that panel to the size we want to fit to replace, you know, the scratches we have. And I'm gonna bring it over to the side here. We got a little bit of rust, nothing too crazy. I don't want to try to patch it in to where the door shuts, because that's perfectly good. So I'm gonna take about an inch away from where the door is. So we're gonna patch inch away from where the door gap is, all the way to around here, so right about that patch panel. So first things first, let's sketch it out. before I cut this up and probably make a big mistake and have to order another one. Cut this up. Now I'm gonna try to line it up right around in here. Yeah, I think that'll work. So let's take it back to the table and we're gonna cut this out. As you can see, this I did about 1.5 inches up here. It widens out down here, so it looks a lot bigger down there. But yeah, let's cut this out and then I'll transfer using this piece itself onto this so I know where to cut there. As you can tell, I cleaned up the area a little bit. Got some grease in my hands here. I wiped it down, and now when we put this up, bam, it fits really good. Got it ground down right where we're gonna cut it. Not gonna cut it tonight. 1, phone's almost dead. 2, I'm dead tired. And so what I'm gonna do is spray some WD-40 on it, protect it, and we'll get back on it when we have a chance. Hopefully it's tomorrow, but. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me. I don't have a mic in right now, but you know, start working on drilling the spot welds out. We got it cut, as you can see, and you know, first peeks inside. Oh yeah, this used to be a mouse house. Can you guess what that was? Cap corners off. We got to deal with the mouse house. We got to clean up these spot welds, and we're gonna have to fabricate. Oops, hopefully you guys can see this now. We got to fabricate something in here because this is not right. This is gone, so we got some work in here to do before we put the new cap corner on. quick run up to the local steel place. I think you can tell what we're about to do. These are the pieces they have. This one. This one is our fallback. This piece. This is our winner. I wasn't very good at that board game as a kid. What's it called? Tetris. But we're gonna see if we can make that. Replace that. Voila, just like that. We got the corners made, or the replacement corner made. As you can tell, Okay, we're back. It's been a hot minute. We're gonna attempt the passenger side cab corner. we got the driver's side over there. I put some primer and tried doing some mudding on it. Not in love with it. I'm gonna strip that back down. Plus I gotta do some finish work on it. Kind of looks like it kicks out, so I'm gonna have to make sure I have everything pushed in. But it just might be the angle that I'm looking at it right now. Plus I gotta do where I drill a hole and spot weld on that side. But if we look at this side here, doesn't look too bad. Just got this big rust hole here. I'm gonna grind this down, see what this metal looks like. But I don't think we'll have to do too much here. Of course, we got the same big old patch panel that comes all the way up to here, and we're probably gonna need maybe this much if we even go this high. We will see. But yeah, so first things first, I'm gonna do what I did on that side. I'm gonna strip this down. Probably won't do as much talking with this one, more of just time lapse of me, you know, stripping this, making my lines, doing my cuts, patching it. And then this video is getting kind of long, so I don't know if we'll do the floor pans this video, but we will be getting to those next video, or we might mix it up and do a little bit of interior work. I got something pretty cool for that I have in mind. So yeah, let's get to it. I got my patch panel cut out of my patch panel that I ordered. I'm not gonna go all the way around. Doesn't really need it. After I clean it up, everything will be fine. There's still plenty of metal everywhere. Really, just need to address this. And I don't know what this is, but we might as well address it. So what I did is I measured how far I hope there's good metal over here from this area, because I know this metal is going to be weak in here. And so as much as I could take out of that patch panel, I measured, and it's roughly that size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut on the inside of this line and kind of trim off more from the truck as I go. I just don't want to take too much off because you can't grill metal on the truck. So let me start cutting these lines, and I'll come back when I have this piece off and I'm testing that piece on it. All right, I got this back piece. I had to go get some new metal to replace this piece because, as you can tell, there's some rust in it. So I figured the best thing to do is to at least replace it up to this line, maybe even higher. I will see. I do want to get down and look from behind to see if there's any rust on the back side any higher that I don't see from this side. But for right now, I don't know if you guys can see, I have went around and traced it with this Sharpie. I'm going to take it down and I'm going to cut this out, and then what I'm going to do is see where I want to cut it, and then we will zap it in. All right, I was on a roll and I totally forgot to stop and record what I was doing, but we got this welded in. It's painted. It's actually dry. I'm gonna throw some of this undercoating on. Found out that I really like that stuff. Found out that I really like that stuff. Looks really well. I actually been putting it on the frame, but we'll get to that in another video. So yeah, I'm gonna put this on, let it dry, and then we'll be putting the cap corner on. And we're back. So got that one sanded down with 80 grit, and then just threw a quick layer of the sandable primer on it. Doesn't look great. I still have to go over it, but I had to order some more sanding blocks and sandpaper just to make sure I'm doing it right. And then on this side, if I can move over, I was able to put in some spot welds here. That way it's actually attached to that inner support, just like that one is, and just like it was from the factory. I took the Bondo off. No, I'm redoing my work here, but I wanted to clean this up, clean that up. It's not the best work. This was the first one we did. I like that one a lot more than this one, but that's the whole point of this, is learning how to do it. And I gave myself plenty of room, so if I ever have to replace this cab corner in the future, right here, I'll have, you know, a lot of room to work with to replace it, even on the side, which I think I'll want to do in the future at some point, because this metal right here is getting kind of thin. It's not terrible, but I have a feeling in the future it's going to be a problem, so just got that one stored in the brain, so I'll keep that in mind. A few dents I'm noticing that I got to fix, but overall, not too bad. Debating if I want to put this whole back in primer, or if we're going to save that and do that in a whole video, whatnot. Maybe we'll take this whole back glass out as well. But yeah, that's it for this episode. So yeah, thank you for watching. I know this video kind of got long and probably wasn't the most enjoyable, but I think what I'm going to do is save the interior for later, because I don't know if you guys can see, there's dust everywhere and I don't want to have a nice interior just getting filled with dust. So we're going to save that one for later. Next episode, you can expect to see the truck bed that'll actually go on top of this frame. I think we're pretty much ready to start working on that. I might throw in the fuel tank and a couple other things back in here. Don't know if I'm gonna do that on camera or off camera. We'll see how far we get on that. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you're not, please subscribe and hit that bell to keep up with notifications. And we'll see you on the next one.